Hi everyone, Kelly Levine here. Last time I promised that I would teach you some closet math and show you how to design a really simple closet. So here we are again. This is a live video. I don't think anybody's there, so that's okay. I don't have to be as nervous. But today we're gonna talk about actually a very small closet. People think since I'm a closet designer, I hear this all the time, oh, I bet you have the best closets. And what you're about to find out is that I have teeny tiny closets. And we're gonna look at designing what I did with my smallest closet, and I've done this for many clients as well, and sometimes a little bit differently, especially if it's a kid's closet that's very small. But I'm going to show you this closet first, and then we're going to talk about some simple closet math, and then we'll get into what goes into the design. So I'm going to walk over here and kind of turn the camera a little bit, and you can see, let's see, you can see the closet there. So this closet is 36 inches wide. That's the total, width of the closet. And then it's, just your standard 8-foot high ceilings. And so when we moved into this house, there was one rod, right about here with one shelf above it. That's all that was in this closet, and I knew that we were going to be in huge trouble if that's all I had to work with. So I've already told you that it's a 36-inch wide closet, and so doing just that quick math, and let's see, first I'm going to put the camera on the tripod and talk to you from that way. Okay, so hopefully now you can see my iPad, and I'm going to bring this up just a little bit farther. Since I do this every day and I would go through thousands of pieces of paper, literally, I now use an iPad Pro with an iPencil. Super fun. But so let's talk about this closet. So the closet is 36 inches wide, and it had one rod and one shelf. So basically what that tells me is that I had 36 inches of hanging, and I had 36 inches of shelving. And if you consider like a module of a shelf to be 12 inches, most t-shirts or sweatshirts or anything like that, when you fold them, 12 inches is an average width. Sometimes it's a little bit less, sometimes it's a little bit more. But if we're talking just in generalizations, I had 36 inches, so I had 3 what I call spaces in the closet. So I'm just going to say I had 3 spaces, and they were 12 inches wide. So 36 inches of hanging is all that would hang in this closet, and 3 12-inch wide stacks are all that I could get on that shelf. What really ends up happening with those shelves like that is people end up stacking that stuff way too high, and then you can't get at it anyway, and I'm kind of short, so that wouldn't have worked at all anyway. So here's what I did, and this is our first kind of lesson on closet design. So I'm just going to tell you don't need any fancy tools. I'm using a graph paper that's just uploaded into this iPad. But if you have any simple graph paper, what we're going to do is just figure that one square is 6 inches. So I hope that you can see this. Let's see if I can get down a little bit further here so you can see this. So one square is 6 inches. So if we've got 36 inches, we're just going to go over 6 squares. So that's the back wall of the closet. And then this closet is 24 inches deep. So we're going to go down 4 squares on each side. Now another thing to consider would be the returns we don't have to get into that for this simple lesson because the returns on most of these smaller closets are not very large, but there is going to be a little bit of a return. And then if you want to note it, you know, the folding door is over here. So that's our closet from the top looking up. If we label the dimensions, we've got 36 inches there, 24 inches deep. And again, this is the top view, so it's as if we're standing over the closet looking from the top down. When we get into drawing the elevation view, we're going to, and I said that already that this is an 8-foot ceiling, so we're going to draw a line 8 foot, and again that would be you know, 12, let's see, 16 squares high. If you've got graph paper and it's got, you know, like these nice little 4 square modules in it, then it's 2 feet by 2 feet and it becomes really super simple. So if you're looking for graph paper, look for the kind that's got, you know, basically a 4 by 4 square. So then we'll go over 36 inches, we'll go down, and this wonderful iPad, you can see, makes my line straight even if I mess up. So there's our closet if we're standing in front of it looking at it and it's empty. Most closet systems, if you're gonna, even if, you know, whether you're gonna have a closet company put this in or whether you're gonna go out and buy the materials and do it yourself, or if you're gonna buy something at one of the big box stores, most closet systems should be, you know, about 84 inches tall to allow you to do double hanging. So 84 inches is just a foot under my ceiling height. So I'm going to draw a line at 84 inches. Then what I did is I wanted to get as much hanging as I could, but I also wanted some shelving that was accessible. So what I did was I partitioned off a 12-inch section, but I only did that down to where my other rod was going to be. So if we look at a double hanging section, I have a rod up here, and we're going to, oops, that's going to, and I want to have a rod down here. This is actually a shelf, and so here's my rod. So I've got a rod here and a rod here. This rod is about, you know, 39.5 inches off the ground. This one is approximately 81 inches off the ground. That gives you a proper amount of hanging in between each rod. So what that does, you know, you'd have panels coming down each side. And I'm not going to go too much into the building of this, you know, how it's built. That's way over the scope of this. We're really going to be talking more about, you know, how to think about the design. I knew I wanted double hanging as much as I could get, but I also knew I wanted accessible shelves. And for me, that meant, you know, that they really had to be below 72 inches or I'm not going to be able to reach them. So I took and I put a shelf all the way across and a bar all the way across. That right there gave me 36 inches of hanging. So with just doing this one bar down here, I have as much hanging as I had in my whole entire closet before. Then I added another bar up here and I left a 12-inch space to add some shelves, and I'll just draw the shelves in. You want to draw your shelves about 10 inches apart, 10 to 12 inches, so just kind of eye that in. So basically what I ended up with was 4 12-inch spaces here. So you can see how this is working out already. I've already got 48 inches of shelving right here in these 4. So in my shelving, oh, if I don't hit my button, everything goes straight. In my shelving, I've got 48 inches over here. I've got another basically 24 inches here. I still have the entire top, which is 36 inches. So now, instead of 36 inches of shelving, I've got 108 inches of shelving. Guys and girls, I mean, this makes a huge difference. I mean, can you see from 36 to 108 inches how much more storage this teeny tiny closet is giving me? In addition to that, I have another 24 inches of hanging. So instead of having 36 inches of hanging, I now have 60 inches of hanging. And that is basic closet math. And you can see from just this very, very simple example that you can get a tremendous amount more space out of a closet, even if it's small. And, you know, I would say, especially if it's small. So I hope that made sense. You know, I know this is fast. I know this is our first lesson. It's my first live, so I apologize for any, you know, delays and ums and ahs and all that kind of stuff. But at any rate, we'll keep going. We'll get better. Give me your comments. Tell me, you know, what made sense, what doesn't make sense. One more thing I'll do before we go. To finish off this top view, you know, this is basically what it would look like from the top. You know, you're going to need, you know, if you're thinking about what you're going to need to build this, you're going to need 3 panels. You're going to need some shelving. Again, I'm not going to get into how to build this stuff. I'm really more concerned about teaching you in general how to design these and lay them out so that they make sense. And I want to show you that you really can do a lot with, you know, small closets. So thank you again for coming. Give me your comments. Let me know what you want to see next. We'll go on to a little bit bigger closet next, and maybe even a variation of this one. And yeah, looking forward to talking to you again. Thanks so much.